All right. So this is the problem we've been given. We're asked to write a program that has functions. There are three seating categories at a stadium for a softball game. We have Class A, Class B, and Class C. And we see the respective prices, 12, 15, and 10. We're supposed to write a program that asks how many tickets for each class of seats that were sold and then displays that amount of like the amount of income generated. So it's pretty much a simple multiplication. We have the number that it costs, and then we're going to ask how much were sold for each one, and then we're going to multiply that and then give them the income generated. So in this case, since it is a function we're obviously going to need to create a function. So we can just call it seat number, and then we can have our three variables: class A, class B, class C. And we know that whenever we call this function, we're going to have to pass in these three variables. So then we manipulate them, and we know that seat A, or class A, costs $20. So we're going to return, so they're passing in, like, if they got like 0 for class A, 2 for class B, 3 for class C, it's going to be 0 times 20, 2 times 15, and then 3 times 10. So it's pretty basic. I'm going to write class A equal to 20, class B equal to 15, class C equal to 10, and then we're going to return class A times, and then we're gonna have, okay, let me rename this function to class A cost, because this is gonna be the number for each one. So class B cost, class C cost. So class A cost is gonna be equal to, so remember, class A is the number. So class A, so like let's say whatever the number is, times, and then class A cost, and then class class B times class B cost, and then same thing, class C cost. All right, so whenever we call the function, I'm going to say seat number, and then we can even put the input statement in the actual function call, input. And this isn't recommended. Like, you can always have like a variable, just for clarity's sake. I know Dr. Locker does not recommend us to put the input statement in the function call, but you still can, and I do it. So it wouldn't be like this, it would be like this. And then, how many class A tickets were sold? Question mark. And then input, how many class B tickets were sold? And then, oh, input, how many class C tickets were sold? So whenever we run this function, they're going to be asked how many Class A tickets were sold. It's going to go to Class A. Then they're going to ask how many Class B tickets were sold. It's going to go to Class B. And then how many Class C tickets were sold. And it's going to go to Class C. Let's see here. What is... Am I missing something? 1, 2... Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm just concerned right here because you can only have one return. Let's see. So this will multiply it and then give you the cost. Okay, so we got that part, and displays the amount of income generated. Okay, so let's actually, we can run it and then see, because I'm pretty sure a function can only return one thing and then it stops at the first one. So let's see if this will work. This works, we're going to get 3 values, but we do need to make sure that these are all ints because they are numbers and they're going to be multiplied. If not, we would get an error. And like I said, I mean, for clarity's sake, like you can make these into variables and then put them into the function call, but you know, I'm just doing everything at the same time in this case. So let's see how many Class A tickets were sold. 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so let's print out whatever this value is. We did not get an error, so that's great news. 4, 5, 6. Perfect. You see here, it did exactly what we expected it to do. 20 times whatever this number was, 15 times whatever this number was, and 10 times whatever this number was. So I'm pretty sure if we were to do the return statement like this, we would get an error, and we can easily test that. Because, okay, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, whenever you make a function, once it sees the first return, it stops and it doesn't like look at anything after that. So that is something you do need to keep in mind. Make sure everything's like this on the same return line. And also this print statement is because you return the value, but we want to output that value. That's why we have the print statement. All right, so the next part of this is it says besides main, so you need to have a main function called calc total that has the 3 parameters. Okay, so besides, okay, so this function called seat number is actually supposed to be calc total, so it is important to read the instructions sometimes. And all this is still correct. We just need to change this here as well. Okay, and then we're supposed to create a main function to receive the number. Okay, so we can pretty much just create a main function. So def main, and the main function is always the easiest because okay, there's an extra one. Because literally it's just calling, like you can have a function work without main, but main is just so simple. You just put the print and that's literally the main function. So your program looks neat. You literally just call the main function one time. So besides the functions, there's only one function call, and it does the same exact thing. So 4, 5, 6. Then we get our answers here. If we want to make our answers look cool or look better, we can always put like, you know, a print statement right here. But you know, we did, you know, answer the question, and for the most part, this is what you would expect on an exam. Hope this helped.